Okay, now for another trippy rant. I obviously have to talk about some of my delusions, but in such a way that I don't scare the children. No, no, in such a way that I don't give you the wrong impression. Yeah, in such a way that you understand that I'm not insane. Yeah, I do have a personality disorder, but it's not insanity. Yeah, that's another story. My journey with insanity. But in this rant, I'm going to talk about an experience I had where it was an altercation between gods. Yeah. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but I haven't had even a cold for the last 2 seasons. Yeah. And this is why. Yeah. It's a trippy rant, but this is what I attribute it to. If you look back through my videos, you'll see that there's a time where I posted a video about how I came into how I met Christ and how the notion of Christ resonated, yeah, due to some synchronicities, yeah, in my life at that time. So there are certain synchronicities where I saw the sign of the cross, and this resonated the thoughts of Christ to become prominent in what I was being aware of at that time. Might be. So, and then I started to think about Christ a lot, and that started to be part of my thinking and part of my delusions as well. So, then one day, I started saying, okay, because the way the code is transmitted is a form of intelligence. If you was a wildlife expert, you say, okay, there's this animal that is kind of like, it behaves like parasitically. Yeah, it's a bit like how a tree would release, or a flower would release pollen. A bee will fly on it and then go and pollinate another flower, and as a way of, you know, farming and bringing about flowers. Yeah, so the flower reproduces by means of other animals. So this cold and flus and things like that do the same thing. Somebody catches it, then it sneezes, somebody else does it, sneezes, so somebody else does it. So it's coming like that. Yeah, and it spreads like that. So it's that intelligence. Is that, can you view that as intelligence? So anyway, I said to myself, okay, so I'm not gonna catch a cold. I'm just gonna be extra careful, and I'll always talk to myself in such a way that I know what's causing it, because knowledge is power. When you know what's causing it, you can start to defend yourself unconsciously. So as I said that, this is what got me worried. Remember, this is trippy rants. Yeah, it got me worried because I started to see that there might be what I call malignorance, where I can't tell if people are maliciously spreading it or they because somebody can maliciously spread it just to fix something. Like somebody might want you to miss an appointment, and they sneeze, they get someone with a cold to sneeze at you, so you catch a cold, and yeah, so all those things also happen. Yeah, so I said, okay, I'm going to avoid those things, wrap myself up warm, and I'm not catching it. Yeah, and then for some reason, I don't know, something around where I live, in terms of geographically, nationally or continentally. Yeah, something must have got upset in that world. Yeah, so then they summoned Odin. Yeah, they summoned Odin, and I was at that place when you seen that video where I post the sign of the cross being a shadow cast by the sun onto a wall. Yeah, in the same spot. Yeah, this funny cloud came now, and it didn't look like other clouds. Yeah, Odin. Yeah, so and it was a tail end of a summer season, so it was still warm. Yeah, but then all of a sudden it went cold, and this cloud started to flash like that. So I went outside for a smoke, and the cloud followed me to there. So I said, yeah. When I was sitting down, I saw that cloud, and it had started to make things cold. I went to the other side, and it was warm, and then the cloud came. Yeah. So I was like, So I went back and sat down in that position. And it was about around that time where this sign of the cross normally appears. It's around 10 o'clock in the morning or something. So it comes up to that time, and this cloud started to follow me back to that position and started making me feel cold again. Then the sign of the cross came. That's Christ. But as it came, the cloud was flickering, so the cross was going in and out. Yeah, and then the sun became prominent and became brighter again. Yeah, and the cloud disappeared, but the sign of the cross was still there. Yeah, the sun came. That's AMUN RA. Yeah, so I'm here thinking to myself, I follow Christ's advice, and in that set of synchronicities that I've just described, he appears to have been fighting for me, because I still ain't got a cold. And that's the last time, because that cloud was freezing me and it was following me about, and Christ was there and he fought it off, and AMUN RA was the referee. Yeah, so that's how I would say it. Right, but remember, this is Trippy Rants, so don't take it the wrong way, but that's how I see it. Yeah, that's how I saw that set of synchronicities. Yeah, I'm sitting there, yeah, with a coffee in a mug. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So Christ was fighting with me. Yeah, and it's not just you saying I'm not going to get a cold. Christ will do the fighting. You have to do a lot of meditation. Yeah, Christ just gives you advice. You have to follow through. Yeah. So I meditate every day, and that keeps the cold away. And I know that when the people, because I'm living in the West, and that's their local God, when they get angry, they'll summon Odin. Yeah, and I don't say I believe in him, but I seen him. Yeah. So, but I'm delusional. So I know that the locals here will summon him, but I know that Christ will be fighting for me, will be my corner. And AMUN RA, when he judges, you know that Christ is right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my delusional story that I had to tell you. That it's helpful for me I allowed myself to indulge in it because it actually helps heal me. Yeah, because knowing that, you know, Christ got your back. Yeah, against all these other gods, and which also implies that there are other beings who are have special powers. Yeah, I don't worship other. I only worship who created me, and that's it. Yeah. So I don't know about you or your other gods. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I only worship who created me. Yeah, I'm not offending anyone, or anything, but I only worship who created me, and that's it. Yeah. And I don't want anyone to frequent me that didn't create me. So yeah, I'm like that. Yeah. But Christ got my back, so that's what I wanted to tell you. Yeah. Trippy Rants out.